guys, so I just wanted to elaborate on something that you guys, well, two people asked a question on, and I feel like a lot of you guys have even more questions about, but it's like you won't ask because you're like shy to, you feel dumb for asking, and I just wanted to remind you that there's no such thing as a stupid question, even if the question's been asked a million times. It's dumber for you not to ask, and if a person is ever saying, oh, you don't know this, or how do you not know about that, or this and that, like, they're speaking from their ego, and that's really disgusting, in my personal opinion, because it's like you should be willing and wanting to and be God-like or Christ-like consciousness to want to help and better someone, not side diss and be like, oh, you don't know this, and then try to tell them. It's like that's not what you're supposed to do. So I feel like a lot of you don't even ask certain questions because like of that reason. So it's like, let me just explain. And you guys know I love talking and sharing, so I thought I could help you guys out. Basically what I mean by between or about like the content intake, and sorry my voice is a little like fucked up, I was drinking, which I shouldn't even be, because it's so important, like what you intake in your body, let alone like what you see or even what you think. So I'm a very very visual person, and I'm a very 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 much like into into the sound even more. So I hate like when people feel the need to get my attention visually and need like my eyes to see if I'm even listening, but it's like, no, I listen even harder by not looking, because I can see or I can feel how someone is speaking, more so how they're expressing themselves physically, if that makes sense. But that's not for everybody. And that's fine. Everyone learns, or everyone expresses themselves differently or has different ways of learning and intaking information. So, about the eyesight thing. So basically, like, it's so important what you see on a daily basis, whether it be like the smallest thing, like an advertisement. Like example, you see that little thing right there. Even though you guys are not looking at that, like you might just be looking whatever or listening to me or not even looking at the video, but like if you are looking at the video, you're also intaking any energy that I have. You're anything that you are consuming, like in a form of a book, information, videos, music, everything like that has an energy attached to it. Everything has an energy. Everything is energy, and then it can't be created or destroyed. So, basically, like subconsciously, if you're a girl, maybe even a guy, you might know that that's a Victoria's Secret thing, because of the colors, like subconsciously, and you're just looking at this. So it's like your mind picks that up whether you know it or not. So next time you like maybe go to the store, you might be like, oh, let's stop by Victoria's Secret, because you subconsciously saw that. So that's why it's so important, even like down to the people who are around you, because like they have influences whether you know it or not. Like people can pretend like they don't get influenced by you whatsoever, and it's not true. It's like you are the people you hang around with the most, and that's what I started to even learn. You are like the 5 people you hang out with and their income and everything. So it's so important like what energy you're intaking, and be aware of energy vampires. And the reason I say that is because like I get caught up in other things where like when I like stop and think like this for a second, I start to realize like a lot of the things that are impacting me negatively, and like you don't ever notice those things until you put it into your focus, into your awareness, into your attention. And I just like I always love like just helping people, and like I hope that even me expressing something like this can like help you maybe see something in a different light or in a different perspective. Because like example, like you can read a book a million times and you'll always get something different out of it, or you'll never read it like in the exact same moment of your life, that you're gonna have a different experience every time. Like most people will understand what I'm saying, but it's I'm trying to explain it for those who don't, so that they may like understand it a little better. But like even with posts and stuff, and I feel bad because people are so spiteful and egoistical, and like I'll see that like 800, 1,000 people are watching my story every day religiously, but never like a post, because it's like hater thing. It's an egotistical. They don't want you to win. They just want to see what you're up to. They don't care to support you. It's like those little things It's like, but you're intaking my content, you're intaking my energy, so it's like, what's the point? And for me, it's like I come here to post and entertain you guys as well, and inform you guys, and like just for fun too. And it is my fun, and I look at it as a job. So it's like, if I'm posting about food, or if I'm posting about something, or an influencer is, it's like that's like kind of their job to do it, and or it's something that makes them happy, you know. I'm not gonna care too much, but you know, of course, with my friends and like family, of course, but like, I'm not gonna care too much about what someone's eating, doing, or posting too much. Or I don't like to scroll because you're also intaking any information, even if you don't like, even if you just like, oh, it's a picture of a freaking whatever you don't like. Let's say it's like Nike sandals, and you're like, oh, I hate Nike commercial, let me swipe. That's still subconsciously was planted in your head somehow, whether you believe it or not. It's just like a Pepsi commercial. Even though you don't drink Pepsi, you might see a commercial one time, you didn't even pay too much attention to it because you're not aware, and you're not like really living in the moment. You won't notice things like that, or you won't put thought to it. And honestly, it's like people always say, oh, I don't think about stuff like that. Or one of my family members said this recently, like, oh, I don't put thought to that, or this and that. And it's like, thinking is never a bad thing. If you're not thinking, I feel like that's a problem, you know. And if you're really aware and you're conscious, you're thinking at all times about everything, because everything has an influence on you. And when you're that aware and that spiritually, like, I guess it wouldn't be enlightened, because I wouldn't even consider myself to be enlightened. I would consider a lot of people to be very woke, because enlightenment is like something that you reach when you reach, like, I don't want to go into that, but like, is still being consciously aware of your surroundings, and anything that you like literally can have an effect on you, whether it's something as simple as like seeing a dollar sign or seeing a logo. And it's so sad, because like you'll notice that people will know a million logos, Nike, this and that, Louis Vuitton, MK, whatever, any freaking, they'll know every logo, every Apple logo, all the Android logos, all that, but they can't even name 5 fucking plants. And they'll be like, okay, why should I care to name 5 plants? It's like, it's not about the plants, it's about the bigger picture. But small-minded, egotistical people will think that way. And it's very, very hard and conflicting when you like deal with those people. But it's like, you have to be the love of God, you know, and Jesus Christ consciousness, and just be loving and understanding and accepting. Let them judge, let them be that, you know, like that's their thing. So as long as you're doing your part, like that's all that matters about planting seeds. Doesn't matter what other people ever do, think, or feel about you, about life, about anything. It's about what resonates with you. And so, you know, a lot of people even get on me, like my own family, like, you don't watch my stories, you don't like post as much, or like I posted this and you didn't like it, and they're like, keep tit for tat. That doesn't mean you can't like or support my stuff. It's just that I really like am so freaking busy and not even busy like all like that. I'm just like have other things going on, where it's like I'm very, very particular about what content I intake, or even have a limit on my IG. Like the most I let it do is an hour a day, and even that's ridiculous, because if people actually took 1 hour a day to do something productive in a fucking month, they'll actually do something. You know, and even myself, like I need to take my own advice, because it's like I used to be so on top of everything, track like a supersonic planner bitch. Like, look at all this. Like, I have this planner like a million times, and like still did a bunch of stuff. And it's like, but I learned what worked and what didn't for me, and that's not for everyone either. So like you have to really understand that. But it's like I don't. Like a lot of people, it's just like mindless content that you're just intaking instead of watching everyone's posts and seeing like their little, and I do this, so I'm not being like a fucking hypocrite or like trying to condemn anybody, or like those, like if you like, I just always come from a place of love. And I hate that people always think like, oh, you think you're perfect. Like, no, you must think I'm perfect if you're saying that, because I've never said I was perfect. If anything, I like tell you guys I make mistakes. I'm the first person to make fun of myself and laugh at myself, if anything, you know. And we should all be more like that. Not saying that I'm perfect or I'm better than anyone. Like, what the fuck? If anything, I fuck up probably more than half of y'all. And I'm totally okay with that. That's where people they want to find things to like get you worked up, because it's like you're so comfortable with yourself that they see that you are, and they want to change that because they're not comfortable with themselves. It's always a self-reflection. Like, people really don't understand, like, whatever they're like talk about you or whatever they think you are is because they have it. If someone thinks that you're mean, it's because they're mean. If someone thinks you're jealous of them, it's because they're jealous of you. If someone thinks that you're stupid, it's because they're fucking stupid. It's not you, it's them. It starts with them first. They haven't healed, they haven't grown yet, and that's okay. Everyone's at their own journey and pace. Like, that's what we all need to understand. Be loving and understand that everyone's content may not be for you. Just because it's your friend, just because it's a co-worker, just because you were friends maybe years ago, doesn't mean you have to keep up with their life, what they're doing. Like, sometimes that can negatively impact you or create negative emotions and trigger you. Like, some people come at me like, oh, I bet if I was in Miami, I'd be making money. Oh, if I was doing this, I'd be doing, like, if you could, you would. And if you, like, what? And if I don't even want to dog people, because it's like, I don't even want to go there. It's like, this is self-reflections and projections. And it's like, I don't go and creep and write people paragraphs of like how I feel about them and how I feel like their life is, that they're living is wrong or this, that. I'm so concerned with my life and giving back to people and genuinely helping people that, like, that's the last of my worries. Like, for real, for real. Like, I will not ever bother to do that or even go out of my way to do that. I don't even got the time, baby. Time is money. And I'm spent 10 minutes even talking right now to hopefully better someone else and help someone else. And I could have used that time to go make money, to go get ready, to go prepare for things, to make money and make work or start my business and do this and that. And it's like, when you genuinely care about people, you will spend your energy and time on the right things. And I feel like this is something that people are afraid to talk about, even because it's like, you get attacked so much and left and right from people's opinions, perspectives, and programming. And most of it is programming from the fucking Matrix. And it's like, you can't, like, even be mad at them, you know? For they do not know. But you just treat people how you want to be treated. And don't think that everything that you do, whether it be a diet, whether it be a lifestyle, has to be perfect. Or that, you know, just be very cautious of what you're intaking. Then you can create that lifestyle. And it's so important. Like, I hate commercials. I hate, like, the radio. I hate little things. It started irking me even more so when I started on my journey, because it's like, I'm not we are consumers, you know, whether it be food, clothes, whatever. And that's what it's targeting. So it's like, you're consuming. They want you to be more on, like, it's a whole thing with IG too, where it's like, it's socially programming us, and it's eventually going to make us all like cyber fucking bots, and like, our reality is literally based off of online things. And people literally post, of course, even myself, I post the happy moments. Why would I post when I'm crying 3 times a day? Bitch, y'all don't want to see that. Y'all be like, this girl's depressing. Like, no, it's like, you get, and everyone gets in their little funks. It's like, no, we want to post the positive things. Let's talk about good things. Like, there's no reason to be like, just like even making yourself feel bad. But don't consume the content that you know is going to make you feel. Don't go on model Instagram pages if you know it's going to fucking affect you and make you feel bad about yourself. So then when you see one of your friends modeling or doing something for themselves, you're like, oh, fuck you, or you're this or you're that, because you have a negative belief system about something. And they can go into bunch of different topics, but like, that's just one example, you know. But this has been a part 1 of like random rants. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I can talk more about any other topics. You guys feel free and comfortable. Feel free to talk to me. I'm very open-minded, and I don't ever judge. Like, the reason I don't ever judge anyone, because I don't ever judge even myself for whatever I do, think, feel, say, or eat, or whatever the fuck in my life. Like, I do not judge me. I'm so happy with me. Whether I gain weight, whether I lose weight, whether I have pimples today or not, I don't care. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so content with where I'm going. And that's what keeps me happy, and that's what keeps me motivated. And never forget that. Like, sometimes you might be in a shitty situation, or have a shitty person around you, or have a shitty family member, or have just people like negatively influencing you. And it's like, just know that you're always able to do better and change that and have the power of change within you. And I hope you guys have a good day. That's pretty much it. Love you guys. God bless.